10 Argentina players, some of whom who had never played or practiced together, played in the Pan American Lacrosse Association qualifier, and that team placed 6th in the Pan American Lacrosse Association qualifier, and that punched Argentina's ticket to Towson here for the World Championships. Escudero played at that Pan Ams, and she was part of the bronze medal team in 2021. She has the majority of the international experience for this squad. Played college lacrosse at Lindenwood University. She'll be their draw specialist as well. And, you know, we've seen a couple of games now throughout the day that those extra possessions have been making quite the difference. You talk about Japan, their 13-8 win yesterday, and then you can look earlier today, Ireland versus Spain. Spain had a couple of more draw controls, had a couple more ground balls, they can make that a closer game against Ireland. So draw specialist Guadalupe Escudero will be huge for Argentina today if they can stabilize there and at least compete in that area, keep it about even. Don't let Japan dominate any sort of aspect of the game to try to keep this one close. As two teams now, Japan, who this for them is their 7th appearance, their best finish was back in 2005 where they placed 5th. Most recently in 2017, they finished in 9th. Again, Argentina making their debut here today, and not just tournament, it's not just their first appearance, this is their first game in the World Championships. Both teams getting final instructions now, and they'll get set to head out in just a moment. Taking a look at some other scores from earlier in the day. Well, currently going on, Germany on top of Latvia 6-1 in the second quarter. Haudenosaunee beats China 9-6. Czech Republic on top of Colombia 20-3 for the final.
Wow.
New Zealand beats Austria 16-3. Ireland beats Spain 10-6. Italy beats Sweden 17-6, and that was all our action so far today.
Yeah, we called him in
As both teams now just about set to take the field. A little bit longer of a delay. Again, this game was delayed due to lightning in the area. The initial start time was supposed to be 3 o'clock, as now China getting some final passes in. Argentina still huddled. China will wear red today, and they'll start off moving left to right. Across your screen, Argentina in the blue and white, moving right to left. I believe now the delay is, I looked to my left, there is no clock on the scoreboard currently, and so they're trying to figure out if they can get the clock on for the game. As there's no power, it looks like, at the field at the moment. Awada will get the start in goal between the pipes for Japan. And it'll be Candela Sugaera in goal for Argentina. We'll step aside here for a moment here on ESPN Plus, covering the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's Championship.
Foundation for anything you choose to do in life.
Thank you for the sweat, the tears, the pride, and for the celebration we share.
When I reach for a stick, it's like I'm shaking hands with history. Thank you for connecting me to a greater community.
It's more than a game to me. It's a gift to be a positive force in young athletes' lives. And I'm thankful I can help the next generation develop a love for the sport.
When I was his age, those moments on the field meant everything. Thank you for giving us a way to stay connected, even as they get older.
We're growing beyond goals on the field.
And our futures are united.
Would you give me the opportunity to fuel aspirations
and to ignite potential.
So thank you, Lacrosse.
For inspiring me to be me.
We are better
Safer.
and wiser together.
And we're building a stronger future
For everyone.
It's coming. The world is coming to San Diego. 30 nations, 30 teams. Only one will be crowned world champion. There's nothing like playing for your country. This is the pinnacle of sport. Be here as legacies are forged and history is made.
And welcome back to ESPN Plus here, the coverage of the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship taking place at Towson University. Still a little bit of a delay. The refs did just send the players back to their benches as they were all staying loose, getting some more instructions now. And while we have a moment, take a look at some of the notes for Japan again. This is the 7th appearance for this nation here at the Women's World Lacrosse World Championships. Their best finish was 5th in 2005. Most recently, it was a 9th place finish in 2017. Nakazawa making her senior world championship debut this summer. She represented Japan at the U19 World Championships in 2019 and was one of 10 players named to the all-world team. Nakazawa recently, as I mentioned earlier, completing her sophomore season at the University of Louisville, where she finished with 22 points, 12 goals, and 10 assists. And now looks like we are set for play here as the teams take to the field for the opening draw. Japan wearing red, Argentina in the blue and white. Kobayashi taking the draw for Japan. And it is Michael taking it for Argentina. Silgaera in goal for Argentina. Awada in goal for Japan as official gets them set. Japan will move left to right. Argentina right to left to start. And we are underway. Japan controls first. Quickly with it is Taga. She moves forward, slows things down, drops it back off to Kobayashi. Japan circling around the Argentina goal now. Bring near side over to Monica Jones. Works it back up top to Mizuno. Jones again. Back near side, pass in front, a fake, a shot, and a big save to start things up from Silgaera. And the ground ball picked up by Argentina. It was Kobayashi on the shot, right on the doorstep, threw a couple fakes, and Silgaera able to get her stick on it up top. Long pass finds nothing but turf, and now a race for the loose ball is won out and picked up by Argentina. Near side is Isturis. Up top is O'Neal. O'Neal goes to her right. Ball comes out, picked back up. Still loose. Japan had it for a moment, and they will come away with it. That's Tamura for Japan as they look to clear the ball now. Pass up to Jones, moving in. Loose ball picked back up by Greta White now for Argentina, and they move it up the field. Uvuedo with it. Uvuedo takes it behind. Moves it. Battling. There is Sophia Michael. The ball comes out, and a foul is going to be called on Japan. It's about 12:40 to go in the first quarter. Michael? Be a free position actually for her. She looks in at Iwata now. Shaded to the left. She winds up, shoots a low shot, and Iwata scoops it up easily. Mizuno brings it up the field for Japan. Across the field now to Kobayashi. Kobayashi trying to drive the near side. Drops off to Jones. Or excuse me, rather, that is Nakazawa. Japan settles things down now with Suzuki. Sends it back to Nakazawa. Behind the net is Takahashi. Japan being very patient. Up top. Again with it is Suzuki. Japan just playing on that far side. Just got 3 players playing catch. They include Suzuki now as they work it to the near side. Nakazawa, near goal line extended, dropped off behind to Takahashi. Up top again is Suzuki. Japan being deliberate. Waiting for a hole to open Suzuki. Again now Takahashi. Across the field. Takano. Inside shot, another save from Silgaera. And now another save, Silgaera turns it away. Race for the ground ball. And Argentina steps out with it. It'll stay with Japan. Takahashi also with a hat trick in the win the other day. Nakazawa now attacks from the near side. Works her way up top, looking for space. Tries to turn for home, bounces a shot. Again turned away by Silgaera. Ground ball picked up by O'Neal for Argentina. Settles down to Michael now. No score yet. Just under 10 minutes to go. And now we have a stoppage as the clock is off again on the scoreboard to the left. Trying to keep track of it on my phone. I have it 9:50 to go here in the first quarter. No score yet between Japan and Argentina. Defensive units for both, or the offensive unit for Japan and defensive unit for Argentina huddling together at midfield, having conversations right next to each other. Sticking close to their marks. Again, you have to tip your cap to Candela Silgaera, who already, with a handful of saves, as Japan has gotten a couple of good looks early at Silgaera, and she's been able to turn them away. Again, this is not just the first game, but this is the debut for Argentina in the World Championships, and Silgaera doing her best right now to keep Argentina in it, because Japan could have had a couple of goals at this point. Few looks right on the doorstep. No score here. The officials huddling to discuss what to do with the lack of a clock right now. Officially, Silgaera has been credited with 2 saves on 4 shots faced. Feel like it might be 1 or 2 more for her. Haven't been many shots that have just gone wide, totally of the net. Team's able to get a water break here early on in the first quarter. Has been a hot day, hot couple of days here in Towson, Maryland. Yeah, you can see teams trying to do whatever they can to keep cool. Have a assistant coach or a manager helping fan off the Japanese players in their huddle. And this game starting about almost 2 hours late. Was scheduled for a 3 o'clock start, didn't get started till about 4:40. Facilities crew here trying to get that clock back on. Not sure if there's a secondary clock available at the timekeeper area. Officials are huddled near the Japan bench. Head coaches now talking at midfield. Japan, a couple of players playing catch on the side. Officials now joining the conversation at midfield. So again, I have, by my clock, about 9:50 to go in the first. Japan retaking the field. So it looks like we're going to play without a clock available to the teams, and obviously doesn't really give an advantage to either side, since both sides having to deal with it. So Japan has retaken the field. Argentina still in their huddle. So here comes Argentina now back onto the field. To our right, Israel and Norway playing on Tiger Field. No score yet in that game. So they do now have the clock on. It says 10 minutes, but I don't believe that's right. Michael has the ball in her stick. We are back underway and counting down from 10 minutes. Argentina on the attack. Over near side. Pass back up top for White. Looking to move, fires a shot wide. Turns over to Japan. Awada was the closest as the ball crossed out of bounds. So Japan back on the offensive now, trying to clear. Pass up the field, cross the field now into the middle is Mizuno. Shot and another save by Silgaera from the near side. Trying to go far post there was Takahashi. And then Japan had the ground ball, and a foul is called on Argentina's Melgareo. So Japan quickly back to work. Still looking for our first goal of the game. Suzuki drifting to her right. Sends it over near side to Takahashi. Behind now to Nakazawa, sends it right back to Takahashi. Flip to Suzuki. Driving the near side, near goal line extended, now behind the goal. Sends back to Suzuki. Suzuki looking for space across the field. Sent back over by Kame. Pass inside. Shot is high off the stick of Jones. Stays with Japan. Sakurai with it. Far goal line extended. Tries to get around her defender, now steps back. Here's Suzuki going forward, and shooting space is drawn by Suzuki. And we'll have a free position, first one of the day for Japan. Suzuki looking in at Silgaera. Suzuki passes across the field, drops it near side, shot and a goal. Japan strikes first. Sakurai with her first of the day puts Japan up 1-0 with 7:29 to go in the first quarter. Suzuki will take the draw for Japan. Michael for Argentina. Sakurai again, the assist will go to Kanakame. We'll redo the draw. Ball not high enough out of the sticks to get set once more. 6.5 to go in the first. Japan leads 1-0. Suzuki trips going for the ball, but it's picked up by Japan with Jones. Japan quickly works to bring it up the field. Picked up by Japan. Tamura sends it up the field to Kobayashi. And Japan, once they get going, no one holds that ball in their stick for more than a couple seconds, and they keep it moving. Jones up top to Mizuno. Pass inside. Behind the back shot by Nakazawa is turned away. Japan on the ground balls and right back to work quickly. Pass in front, Jones now to Nakazawa. Low shot and a goal. Nakazawa puts Japan up 2-0. Off the assist from Jones. 5.5 to go. It's 2-0 Japan. Again, very quick passing by Japan, doing a good job of spreading out Argentina's defense, finding gaps, and Nakazawa was right on the doorstep there, unmarked. Michael and Kobayashi this time will take the draw for Japan. So after a slow start to this one for various reasons, whether it be weather or power delays, and then just both goalies and defenses being able to turn away the offense, Japan able to put two back-to-back quickly. Ball's batted around, drifting towards the Japanese end. And a foul called on Argentina. It'll be Japan ball. Mizuno up to Takahashi. Behind the Jones. Jones drifts out, far goal line extended. Pass up top. Kobayashi with it now. Kobayashi gets it back from Jones. Near side is Taga. Up top now is Fuji. Taga trying to attack from the near side, turned away, sends it back out. Pass in front, Silgaera save, and then the putback goal for Japan. Makes it 3-0, and now attention turns to Silgaera as she is down, holding what looks like to be her right arm. Looks like she might have taken the shot right off the hand, right above her glove. Shakes it off, and she is good to continue, and that is good news for Argentina because she has been great so far, and actually she's going to jog off. And Argentina will, for the moment, have to play De Jesus in goal. Goal was scored by Nakazawa to make it 3-0 with 3:30 to go.
Maybe somebody from Japan can shoot him.
So De Jesus heads in between the pipes. Get set for the draw now. We'll see if Silgaera re-enters. She is getting her wrist looked at by the athletic trainer. Ball on the ground off the draw, picked up by Argentina. Mehrel gives off to Michael. Michael drifting to her right, approaching the 3-minute mark now. Michael takes it behind the net. Spins back, throws back. White shoots, saved by Iwata, right into the chest. Outlet pass up the field for Japan. Takahashi with it. Up to Jones. Across the field. In on goal, fires was Hirose. But a whistle before the shot. And a free position, I believe, coming for Japan. Will be Hirose. Passes. Down low, shoots and scores. That's Jones. That's another one for Japan. It's 4-0 with 2:04 to go in the first, and Japan running away. That's the first shot De Jesus faced. Silgaera is sitting down on the bench, helmet off, so I don't know if we'll see her re-enter. That is a tough break for Argentina. White will take the draw for Argentina. Nakazawa in the circle for Japan. Ball's up. Batted around. Meirel picks it up for Argentina. Just over a minute to go. Argentina still looking for their first goal. Meirel throws back to Melgareo. Argentina moves it around the Michael near side. Under a minute to play in the first. Michael spins back. Nowhere to go. Mark tight. Flip out to Melgareo. Lob picked off. That's Nukui with it, bringing it up the field. Send over to Osome. Settle down Nakazawa. 20 seconds. Takahashi. In on goal, shoots and scores. Takahashi puts another one in the back of the net for Japan. That is 5-0 now with 9 seconds to play in the first.
9 seconds.
Japan making quick work of it now here as they've gotten into a groove. And it looks like this will be De Jesus the rest of the way for Argentina between the pipes. White and Nakazawa to take the draw. Ball's up. Nakazawa knocks it down onto the turf. It's picked up. Quick pass up to Takahashi. Moves up. Backhand shot is off the mark by Sakurai, and that'll be the end of the first. Japan leading 5-0. This is the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship here on ESPN+. Thanks. Welcome back to the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship. After one quarter of play, it's all Japan 5-0, and right now the story, Seal Gaera took a shot off the wrist and had to exit, and that's when Japan was able to start capitalizing as De Jesus entered the game. It still is De Jesus in the goal for Argentina, although Seal Gaera is up with her helmet on now and looking like she's trying to get warm on the sideline. So we'll see if Seal Gaera will re-enter, and she was doing really well, really holding her own against a lot of shots from Japan. So we get set for the second quarter now. Set for the draw, and we are back underway. Suzuki scoops up the ball, and Japan right back where they left off on the attack. Quickly up the field is Muzono. In on goal, Nakazawa navigates traffic and finds the back of the net. It's 6-0 Japan. And you see how quickly Japan gets the work. Once they start moving, it's hard to stop. It's either a quick pass or quick cut. And they don't dance with it too much. It's one cut and head to the goal, and if it's not there, they get rid of it. And that time, the Louisville Cardinal dodges through traffic for the goal. Ball hits the turf. Michael shuffles it forward for Argentina. Japan, though, right there on it, still loose. Along the restraining line, Michael picks it up for Argentina. And now a foul called on Japan on the pass. Turn it over to Argentina, or stays with Argentina, rather. Long pass back to Michael near sideline. Up top is O'Neal. Reverses. Back to Isturis. White spins to her right. Had a lane closed off. And a free position coming for White. I thought so. Looked like it was a shooting space situation when she tried to spin back, got cut off. So White looking in at Iwata. Argentina looking for their first goal. White moves in, lost it, ball's out. Picked up by Japan, and they are into their transition, and this is where they can be really lethal. Hirose moves it up to Takahashi. Back into the center. Suzuki in on goal, bounces a shot home. Japan adds on 7-0. .12:18 to go. Suzuki, the scorer on the last goal. Japan gets into that transition game, and if you can't stop the ball, that ball's probably going to end up in the back of the net, as Japan has just been absolutely on target every time in transition. Kobayashi will take the draw for Japan. Argentina has made a switch away from Michael. Couldn't quite catch the jersey number prior. But draw controlled by Kamei. Moves up to Taga. Argentina offsides defensively. They pull O'Neal off. On the restart now. Kobayashi. Japan works it around behind the goal. Jones now near side to Taga. Kobayashi. Back behind. Taga with space, shoots, scores. 8-0 Japan with 10.5 to go in the second. And Silgaera back into goal for Argentina. She'll give it a go following the injury. Which perhaps that's what Argentina needs here. Suzuki to take the draw. White to take it for Argentina. White had it, couldn't reel it in. Now picked up by Kamei for Japan. Moves quickly to Kobayashi, now up to Takahashi. Takahashi in on goal, shoots, misses wide. Turns over to Argentina. Sil Guerrera. Escuerdo. We haven't seen much of in the draw. She was a draw specialist during the Pan Ams. Foul called on Japan. A little too aggressive in the ride. Escudero. Peñalosa. Loses it. Another foul called, this one on Jones. Peñalosa. Over midfield. Now pushed by Takahashi. Argentina looking for any sign of life here, just trying to establish a pulse. As it's been all Japan, passes tipped. Loose on the ground. Two Argentina players collide, but they're gonna come away with it. Oh, spoke too soon, Japan with it. But then an illegal screen on Japan, a moving screen. And that would have been a real rough situation for Sil Guerrera, as it would have been a fast break for Kobayashi. Melgareo picked off. Suzuki quickly up to Takahashi. Jones behind the defense, catches it, couldn't catch it cleanly, ball comes out. Picked up by Argentina, up the field. There's Otero. Otero cuts inside. Otero now to her right. Up top, O'Neal, drifting to her left. Melgareo. Goes forward, in on goal, shoots, ball came out as she wound up. But a free position given. It looked like she got hit on the arm as she drove. So Britza Melgareo straight away with Iwata, who's been excellent so far today when challenged. Melgareo goes forward, shoots, bounce shot and a goal. Argentina is on the board. It's 8-1 with 6 minutes to go in the first. So Melgareo scores the first goal for Argentina in the World Championships in their debut. Nakazawa will take the draw for Japan. Ball's up, Nakazawa wins the draw. Quickly up to Taga. Fuji, out back over to Nakazawa. Just about 5 minutes to go in the second. Kobayashi, cross. Inside now, a shot, goal scored by Japan. They answer right back. That was Sakurai again to make it 9-1 Japan. 4:42 to go. 9-1. Japan as they quickly answer the Argentina goal. Assisted by Takano. Ball picked up by Michael off the draw. On that far sideline, guarded tight. And as good as Japan's offense has been, their defense has been even better. Play a little physically, but they do stay tight to their marks. Cut down easy passes and are quick to ground balls. On the restart, Michael loses it, able to pick it back up. Flip. Seal Gaera. Pass in front. Shot. In between the legs of Awada, then hits the crossbar and stays out. Tough break for Argentina. Japan quickly in transition. Long passes. Nakazawa up to Sakurai. Across. Over to Hosome. And she lost it. Japan able to come away with it with Taga. Sakurai now near goal line extended. Two and a half to go in the second. Sakurai sends it back to Taga up top. Across the field to Jones. Nakazawa near far goal line extended. Up top, Takano. Taga, near side, moves forward. Pass up top. Mizuno. Takana, inside. Taga catching a shot and a goal. That is 10 now for Japan. They lead 10-1 with under 2 minutes to go. So Argentina able to get one, and then Japan adds on 2 more to their total. Suzuki to take the draw for Japan. White in there for Argentina. By the time the ball gets set, we'll have just about a minute to go here in the second quarter. Draw controlled by Japan. Up to Mizuno. Japan looking for more before the break. Pass near side. Shooting space called. And Sakurai with a chance. Sakurai looking in at Seal Gaera. Looking like she's just gonna let it fly. Goes forward, shoots, bounces wide, backed up by Japan. 26 seconds to go. Nakazawa inside. Shot saved by Seal Gaera. Oh no, it trickled in. Seal Gaera gets beat. She had it between her legs, it looked like, and then just not able to squeeze it shut. Goal is credited to Mizuno, assist from Nakazawa. That makes it 11-1. Japan with 19 seconds to go. So 19 seconds. Japan has extended the lead. Another draw control for Japan. Kobayashi moves forward. Quickly to Sakurai. Up top. Osome able to draw another free position. 9 seconds to go. Osome looks in. Goes forward, shoots, scores. Make it 12-1. Osome with her first. Five seconds to go in the second. Have to think that will be basically the final impact play we see here in this quarter. Although Japan has shown they can work up the field fast. Get set for the final draw of the second quarter.
With just over 5.5 minutes remaining in the half, the score, Israel 5, Norway 0.
Ball is up. And that will be it for the second quarter of play, and the first half is in the books. It has been all Japan. It is 12-1 Japan. They lead Argentina at the break. You're watching the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship here on ESPN+.
They still didn't make it, huh? Because the young man, or the young woman who was doing, the young man, whoever, was, supposed to get the award was there.
Welcome back to the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship here on ESPN Plus, being played this year at Towson University in Towson, Maryland. And right now, our score, 12-2 Japan. After one half of play, they lead Argentina. Take a look at the scoring for Japan. You have 4 players with 2 goals: Mizuno, Sakurai, Nakazawa, and Taga, each with 2. 1 goal each from Suzuki, Takahashi, Hosume, and Jones. Nakazawa has added an assist as well to her total. Takano leads the way in that category for Japan with 2 assists to her credit. The lone Argentina goal has been scored, or was scored, by Brisa Melgareo, unassisted off a free position. And the story really of that first quarter, it was kind of a stalemate for a little bit of a while, and then Argentina's goalkeeper, Candela Silgaera, took a shot off the wrist where she had to exit the game, and at that point she had a bunch of saves and was able to really turn away Japan time and time again. And De Jesus enters the game for Argentina, and Japan was able to open the floodgates there and really start scoring a lot the rest of the way through. Silgaera did enter in the second quarter, and it looks like it will be her the rest of the way through. Iwata has only faced 5 shots, 3 of them on goal. She saved 2, and 1 has made its way in. So the Japan goalkeeper hasn't been tested much, and that's credit due to not just obviously the amount of time Japan has held on to the ball in terms of time of possession, but her defense has really been a impenetrable fortress in front of her, as they stick to their marks very tightly, and they're not able, or they make all the passes difficult. They make every ground ball a contest, and if it's not a contest, then Japan probably already has it in their stick and headed the other way. And their transition game has been good as well, and we had about 3 or 4 straight goals in that first quarter that Japan was able to score in transition, and they're very precise with their passing. They don't hog the ball too much, and I think we're going to see more of that from Japan as we move forward. Again, our score after one half of play here in pool play of the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship. Japan leading Argentina 12-1 here on ESPN Plus.
Yo, you know, I've seen it all before. Cisco, Tiger, just as sharp from the bended knee. My main man, Money, the king. There ain't nothing I ain't seen.
Okay, old school. Have you seen someone ball like John Morant? No, you can't. You've never seen anyone like a thing. The point guard queen, Sky, or Chloe Kim. Do you know there's never been anyone else like them? Look, OG, no disrespect. I know you think you've seen everything, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Checkmate.
Every player knows the skills you learn on the field can be the foundation for anything you choose to do in life.
Thank you for the sweat, the tears, the pride, and for the celebration we share.
When I reach for a stick, it's like I'm shaking hands with history. Thank you for connecting me to a greater community.
It's more than a game to me. It's a gift to be a positive force in young athletes' lives. And I'm thankful I can help the next generation develop a love for the sport.
When I was his age, those moments on the field meant everything. Thank you for giving us a way to stay connected, even as they get older.
We're growing beyond goals on the field.
And our futures are united.
Would you give me the opportunity to fuel aspirations
and to ignite potential?
So thank you, Lacrosse.
For inspiring me to be me.
We are better,
Safer.
And wiser together.
And we're building a stronger future
For everyone.
Welcome back to the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship. Japan leading the way 12-1 over Argentina here at halftime. And we talked about her in the pregame. Kokoro Nakazawa, who is making her senior world championship debut this summer, has led the way so far for Japan. A hat trick in the first game. And now adding on 2 more and an assist as well for her squad. And so if you're going to make a debut, might as well make it a good one here so far in the summer tournament for Nakazawa, who had a very successful Louisville campaign, or sophomore campaign at Louisville, I should say. And talking about what we might see here in the second half, I got to think if you're Japan, I mean, they've shown they do not care about the score differential. They do not care about how much time is left on the clock. We saw at the end of the second quarter with 9 seconds left, they put another goal in the back of the net, and I think we're going to see that fast pace of play still from Japan. Again, very impressed by the ball movement from the Japan team, as no one really lets the ball stick in their stick for too long, and they keep it moving. We have seen when they do hold the ball for long, they're making a move towards the net. It's one cut and go. You think about that goal from Nakazawa, where she drove straight down the middle, made 2 cuts around the player, and she was in on goal, and there was no doubt she was going to shoot it. They do a great job spreading out the defense to open up lanes, whether it's another passing lane or a shot lane or a drive lane. That's what they keep doing. In Argentina, they got Silgaera back in the goal, and that has stabilized things a little bit, but Japan is just picking up too much momentum. If you're Argentina offensively, you have to calm down the ball movement. You have to be a little more deliberate. Japan is playing a lot of tight pressure, so if you're getting ready to throw a pass, it has to be a good one. Every pass has to count if you're Argentina right now. And defensively, you just got to keep your mark in front of you. A lot of Japan attackers getting behind the defense. Transition is tough. You might have to start hanging back a little bit if you're Argentina. 3 straight goals for Japan were scored in that transition game, and there was no one between the player and the goalie. So Japan really capitalizing, using their speed in this situation, and Argentina just has to get back, slow the game down a little bit, take the speed away from Japan as we get set for quarter number 3. Again, our score 12-1 Japan here in the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship. Japan picked up a win yesterday in day 2 of the tournament against Haudenausi. Argentina, this is their first game of the tournament. Kobayashi will take the draw for Japan, and it'll be Greta White for Argentina. We get set for play. Japan will move left to right. And it's going to be Japan ball. It might have, not sure what the situation there. Argentina was slow out of the bench, so not sure if they more or less assessed a delay of game on Argentina. Not sure. We'll try to find out. But meanwhile, Kobayashi fires a shot wide of the goal, backed up by Japan. On the restart, Takahashi looking to drive, kicked up top. Kobayashi now out far. Inside shot, big save, Silgaera. Rebounded by Nakazawa, looking for a putback, no good there, and Argentina the ground ball. Argentina pressing. White loses it, checked from behind. Japan with the ground ball going the other way. The team speed of Japan has really been a dangerous weapon so far today, as they've used it on offense, and just then you see them catch up to White on the transition break to save a shot. Now Japan will set back up on offense. Kobayashi. Nakazawa. Near side. Takahashi now goal line extended. Moved up top. The Fuji. Kobayashi drifting right. Back to Fuji. Throws a fake, sends it near goal line extended to Takahashi. Takahashi looking for space, brings it up top. Flip, back up to Kobayashi. Inside, Fuji driving, shoots and scores! Top corner, beating Silgaera. That is 13-1 Japan. And our first goal of the third quarter. And going back to that first draw to open up the third quarter, it was a delay of game against Argentina for not coming out into the field of play in time, so Japan awarded possession. We will see a draw now. It is Suzuki and White to take the draw. Argentina went early. It'll be Japan ball, and you're starting to see Argentina collapse a little bit here as they are facing a huge deficit. A couple of mental errors. Up to Nakazawa. Japan circles it around. Near side, Takahashi. Drives near goal line extended. Works her way up top now. Throws across the field to Sakurai. Here's Nakazawa. Behind the net to Jones. Jones, pass in front. A jump shot and a goal. Hosame from Jones to make it 14-1. So Japan coming out, firing on all cylinders. Get set for the draw. It's a nice play from Jones to Hosame. Hosame catching it in the air and then taking the shot before she even landed. Argentina. Michael back to take the draw, is looking back. There's some sort of conversation between the officials in the Argentina bench. O'Neal jogs off. It's like Argentina had one too many players on the field, and no one was sure on who should come off. They get set for the draw now with 10:29 to go. Ball didn't go high enough. It's going to be a violation against Japan. It'll be Argentina's ball. Michael. Jogs up the near sideline. In the corner now. Directing traffic. Michael. Cuts to her right. Flip. Back out to Otero. Melgareo trying to find space. Gross with it. Ball comes out. She threw a couple of fakes, and Japan comes away with the ball. Long pass up the field. Now they recenter it back over to Hosame. Japan maybe slowing things down now here at the midfield. Mizuno looking around, wants to move it and does. Finally to Kobayashi. Kobayashi sends it right back to Mizuno. Sakurai on the far side. No wasted touch for Japan. Everything has a purpose so far, as we've seen, as they've worked the ball around, and everything has led to something. Sakurai, far goal line extended. Takano up top. Swing around near side to Suzuki. Hard pass over to Jones. Jones now moves back to where Suzuki was a moment ago. Jones out to Takano. Across the field, Suzuki with space, and shooting space is called as Argentina runs in to the shooting lane. And Suzuki with a free position now. Looking in at Silgaera. Suzuki will pass out. Spin from Mizuno out to Jones. Back to Suzuki now. Suzuki driving in, and another shooting space called on Argentina. We'll see what Suzuki decides to do with it. Here is just over 8 minutes to go in the third. Suzuki, this time, started forward, passed. Kobayashi. Across the field, Suzuki near side. Suzuki to her right, flip to Sakurai across the field. Takano, inside shot. Just wide off the stick of Sakurai. Backed up by Jones for Japan. Suzuki with it up top. Moved over to Takano, and another shooting space called, and free position this time for Takano. Takano looks in at Silgaera. Goes forward, shoots hard and scores. Takano off the free position makes it 15-1 now for Japan, as they keep churning along. 6:55 to go in the third. Michael to take the draw. Kobayashi heads out to the circle to join her. And Argentina, this is their first appearance in the World Championship. They're playing a tough Japan squad for their first game. Japan has been playing lacrosse since 1986, when university students expressed interest to the U.S. Embassy, and the sport a little bit newer in Argentina. Just their lacrosse association formed in 2002. We're set for the draw. All loose. Players on the ground, picked up by Japan. Takahashi. Sakurai now near goal line extended. Cross to Kobayashi. Jones with it, right back to Kobayashi, far goal line extended. Kobayashi back to Jones. Pass inside, low shot, kicked away by Silgaera. Ball loose on the ground, picked up by Peñalosa. Peñalosa spins between two. Loses the ball, picked back up by Taga for Japan. And right back on the attack. Fuji goes forward. Just over 5 minutes to go. And Takahashi now with a free position opportunity. Takahashi winds up, scores, and snipes the far post and bangs it home. It is 16-1 Japan. So Takahashi off the free position, able to get that far post corner. And for Takahashi, That is a hat trick now for her. She is the first Japan player to hit the hat trick mark today. Got several players with 2 goals each. Mizuno, Sakurai, Hosame, Nakazawa, and Taga each with 2, and now Takashi with the hat trick. Ball is up. Michael had it in her stick. It popped out. Picked up by Kobayashi for Japan. Japan will look for more. Across the field to Hosame. Kobayashi over to Kame. Nakazawa sends it behind the net. Japan working quickly. Kobayashi. Nakazawa near side. Thought about a shot. Gives it inside. Takahashi buries another. It is 17-1 Japan, and in that situation, Takahashi shakes loose of her defender. Good eyes by Nakazawa to find her on the doorstep. And Nakazawa able to score her Takahashi to score her 4th goal of the day, and we have a timeout called by Argentina with 3:05 to go in the 3rd. I think Argentina just looking for some energy now, as it looks like they're a little deflated and they trail 17-1, and kind of tough sledding the rest of the way through this one with still a quarter to go, and I think they just want them to put a little pep in the step, so to say, and Argentina just wanting some more effort there. Try to build onto something for their next game, which for Argentina, they will play again tomorrow, taking on Switzerland at 4 p.m. Japan's next game will also be tomorrow against China at 9 in the morning here in Towson, Maryland. And take a look at the scoring for Japan. Takahashi with the hat trick. Taga, Nakazawa, Hosame, Sakurai, Mizuno, each with 2. Nakazawa has added 2 assists, and then Suzuki, Fuji, Takano, and Jones each with a goal. Takano also with 2 assists in the game. Argentina's lone goal scored by Melgareo. Still have to tip your cap to Silgaera, the goalkeeper for Argentina. She, when given help defensively, she's been able to turn away some tough shots. But right now, getting hung out to dry a little bit here by the Argentina defense. A few too many times. And what we're seeing now, too, is Japan starting to capitalize a lot on free positions. They didn't have many in that first half, but now starting to really tally them up. Nakazawa will take the draw for Japan. White for Argentina. 3:05 to go in the 3rd as we're set to resume play. Ball's up. Nakazawa picks it out of the air, and Japan back on the attack. Hosume. As Japan will look to add on to an already impressive goal total. Kobayashi. Kame. Nakazawa near goal line extended. Behind the net to Kobayashi. Kobayashi again. Pass up top. Kobayashi driving, shoots and scores! Kobayashi makes it 18-1. Kobayashi's goal unassisted. Just over 2 minutes to go now. And what we're seeing is on that last, you had that pass from Takano, or from Taga rather, from behind the net all the way back up top the 11-meter fan. And Argentina's defense was sucking in towards Taga behind the net, and that opened things up for Kobayashi. We're set for the draw. Minute 35 to play in the third.
That's away, Greta. Oh, too bad.
Again, Nakazawa there for the draw control. Dumps it off over to Mizuno. Nakazawa near goal line extended to Jones. Back to Nakazawa. Up top is Kame. Back to Mizuno, and they work it back to Nakazawa. Now Jones behind the net. Send it out to the far side. Taga to Jones. Pass in front, shot, and a goal. Mizuno.
Japan goal by number
19-1. Assist will go to Monica Jones on the Mizuno goal. Under a minute to go in the third. We'll see if we get another draw in with the running clock. But Japan not taking their foot off the gas. Suzuki will take the draw. White will take the draw for Argentina. Ball on the ground. 25 seconds to go. No one with control of it yet. Still loose. Michael comes away with it now for Argentina. Michael. Trying to drive. In on goal. Tries to go high. It's stuffed by Owada. Up to Suzuki with 5 seconds. Suzuki to Nakazawa, 3 seconds. Shoots slower, tried to send it low, see if she could put it on goal, and that'll do it for the third quarter of play. It is 19 for Japan and 1 for Argentina here at the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship on ESPN+.
Stay through the whole thing. Yeah.
I was waiting because more people taking the same time. They never take vacation. You can do that.
I think my son Charlie may come up on the third.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
It'll be good because Nick will be here.
Yeah.
And then Hope is coming the next day. But she's not going to spend the night. So I thought maybe we could all go out for dinner on the third. Is that okay?
Yeah.
We'll get you some crab cakes.
What?
We'll get you some crab cakes.
You know what? I never tried.
Really?
I never tried that.
I took him out for dinner the other night.
Yep.
Crab cakes.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I should have got them too.
Yeah, keep going.
You like fish?
Yeah, I like it.
Well, crab cakes are...
I don't like octopus.
No. It is
I tried one time. And I was like, ooh.
No.
And it's now. I tried.
Yeah.
I know. I'm very. Yeah, I like it.
I don't eat octopus. I eat clams. I don't eat oysters. Yeah.
Welcome back to the 2022 World Lacrosse Women's World Championship here on ESPN+. Ben Rosenbaum here at Towson University, the site for this year's championship. Japan firmly in the driver's seat, 19-1 against Argentina, who's making their debut. And here's a draw control for White for Argentina as they look to maybe build on something. White looking to drive down the near side and now peels off behind the net. If you're Argentina, you'd like to see just a good solid possession here, work it around, find a goal. Uvuedo up top to O'Neal. O'Neal near goal line extended. Japan cutting off any pass. O'Neal to her right, drives, O'Neal in on goal, O'Neal in front, shoots and scores, O'Neal. That's what you're looking for if you're Argentina building into next game. Just find some way, somehow, and O'Neal, the individual effort to put the second goal of the day for Argentina on the board as she just drove herself. So Argentina with a goal. Take a look around the scoreboard right now. To our right, Israel leads Norway 11-1. Germany defeated Latvia 10-2. Haudenosaunee beat China 9-6. As we get set for the draw now. Earlier today, Ireland topped Spain 9-6. Ball is up, going way up for it. Was Fuji for Japan. Quickly is Hosume. Suzuki. Near side now is Jones. Up top, back to Fuji. Japan looking for the hole they've been so adept at finding. Pass inside. Great catch, and the shot goes high from Hosume. Stays with Japan, Jones with it. Up top, Suzuki. Pass over the head of Fuji, rolling towards the Japan bench, and it goes out of bounds. Turn it over to Argentina. White. White being watched by Sakurai. White gets it into the attacking end, now passes out to Gross. A little bit of problems with it for Uvede. Near goal line extended, takes it behind. Trying to wrap around. Spins back, turned away, gets rid of it. O'Neal sends it up top to Gross. Back to O'Neal. O'Neal looking for space. Pass knocked down on the ground right in front of the crease. Gross comes away with it for Argentina. Here's O'Neal. Driving and is fouled. Free position coming for O'Neal. She had a goal a moment ago. Looks in, moves forward, shoots, scores. O'Neal with her second of the day, makes it 19-3 now with 10:44 to go. So O'Neal off the free position. Japan has made a goalie change. It is Fujita in the goal now. I believe actually that switch was made at halftime. Get set for the draw. Kobayashi in for Japan. We get set. A little bit of issue getting players to cooperate. Official gets them where she wants them. Ball's up. And another draw control for Japan. They lead 19-7 in that category. Takahashi on the far side. Jones walking with it behind the net. Moves it back out to Takahashi. Up top now is Sakurai. Pass in front, shot and a goal. It's Mizuno again finding the back of the net. That makes it an even 20. The assist goes to Monica Jones, who found Mizuno cutting through the middle for the goal. It's 20-3 in favor of Japan. As Japan has gotten everything and anything they've wanted offensively in this game. And they've done it in various ways. They've done it in transition. They've done it from set pieces. They've done it on individual efforts. We get set for the draw. Official, before we start, requests that Michael and Kamei stop jockeying so much for position. Draw won again by Japan. Mizuno, long pass completed up to Taga. Sakurai near goal line extended. Behind the net to Nakazawa. Out to Kobayashi. Nakazawa far side. Sends to Sakurai. Taga up top. Kobayashi looked right, goes left. Gives to Mizuno. Sakurai near goal line extended, works it back up top to Mizuno. Taga. And shooting space called. Nakazawa with a free position coming. Just over 7 minutes to go. Nakazawa looks in. Lets it fly, and it's wide of De Jesus in the goal. Backed up, though, by Sakurai. Pass. Back behind the Sakurai from Taga. Over to Nakazawa, far goal line extended. Kobayashi up top. Mizuno. In the middle is Nakazawa, shoots and scores. 21-3, Nakazawa adds another. She's got a hat trick now.
With just over 10.5 minutes remaining in regulation, the score, Israel 11, Norway 2.
6:07 to go, Nakazawa with the hat trick now. It's back-to-back games for her in this tournament with 3 goals. (21-3) our score now. Pass in front. Nakazawa tries to go behind the back, and she scored it. Banged it off the post. Goodness. It's 22-3. As the Cardinal from Louisville is really showing off the skill set now as she goes behind the back for a goal again. And Japan's doing a good job hitting their spots on the goal. They've been able to work the corners, work the edges of the post. Been able to bang in some tough goals, tough looks. Just over 4.5 to go now in the game. Japan, go ahead and say it, will move to 2-0 here so far in the tournament. They face China tomorrow at 9 a.m. And all of the games here for the World Lacrosse Women's World Championship available on ESPN+. Pass up the field to Hosame. Japan back to work off the draw. Taga near goal line extended. Suzuki. Nakazawa on the far side. Keeps it moving. Sakurai in front. Touch shot and a goal. Japan puts another on the board. This one off the stick of Kamei. 23-3. The assist goes to Sakurai. And if you're Argentina defensively, we've talked about how Japan does a good job with the quick passes to spread out the defense and open up the lanes, and I think that's something Argentina has to look at. They've bit on a few too many fakes, and they've maybe been the one to make a move first, where Japan has been patient in those situations, and that's opened up opportunities for Japan as we're under 3 minutes to go. Another draw control for Japan. Sakurai near goal line extended, now jogs behind. Out. Over to Jones, centered up top to Kobayashi. Suzuki. Taga sends it back up wide to Kobayashi. Kobayashi to Jones. Jones inside, out of the stick of Hosame. Kobayashi fakes right, drives down the middle, shoots and scores, but they wave it off. No goal. I think we had a whistle before it was shooting space called, so no goal, but a free position coming for Kobayashi. Straight away looking in at De Jesus. Winds up, shoots, and deflected wide, but high bounce, and back into the stick of Hosame for Japan. Japan resets. Suzuki. Sakurai, near goal line extended. Out wide now to Suzuki. Kobayashi gets it. Pass in front, shoots and scores. It's Taga. 24-3 with 1.5 minutes to play. Japan picks up a lot of momentum heading into their game tomorrow. The rest of the way through pool play. After their game against China tomorrow on Monday, July 4th, Japan will face off against Switzerland. They'll look to keep it rolling, looking forward to the rest of Argentina's schedule. Tomorrow they'll play Switzerland. On Sunday they play China, and on the 4th they'll play Howden Osani. Kobayashi to take the draw for Japan. Ball is up. White was there for Argentina. Another draw control for Japan, this time controlled by Kobayashi. Over to Hosame. Sakurai near goal line extended. Fakes, ducks out behind the net. Fuji Japan slowing things down now as we approach and hit the 1 minute mark. And a foul called on Argentina, a free position coming for Taga. Taga looks in it to Jesus, will pass out instead. See if Japan just decides to sit on it here the rest of the way through. Jones up top to Fuji. Kobayashi near side, cross the field. They work it back to Fuji, up top. Kobayashi near side.
37.
Up top again. Bring it back near side to Taga. 30 seconds to go. Sakurai far goal line extended. Behind the Jones. Pass up top to Fuji. Kobayashi. Fuji. And shooting space called on Argentina. 8 seconds to go. One more free position coming here for Fuji. Fuji looks in. Drives, shoots, scores. 25-3, Japan leads as they come into this game, their second game of the tournament, and make a big statement. Argentina making their debut in the World Championship. We're set for the draw with 3 seconds to go. Coming up later today on ESPN Plus, more action as the draw is controlled by Japan, and that'll do it. Japan decisively winning 25-3. Take a look at the scoring for Japan. A spread out attack. 4 goals each from Mizuno and Nakazawa. Hat tricks from Taga and Takahashi. Fuji, Hosume, Sakurai, each with 2. Suzuki, Kobayashi, Takano, and Jones and Kamei, each with 1. 3 assists from Monica Jones as well. For Argentina, Mercedes O'Neal with 2 and Melgareo with 1. That'll do it for us here in this contest. Japan again winners over Argentina 25-3 here on ESPN Plus.
Any high score for Japan? Any high score for Japan?